Video Games NC.
Hello and welcome to this mini Quest for K9 weapons showcase. I have 4 weapons and 2 items to share with you today. The first weapon I'll be showing you is the baseball bat. Now I was kind of hesitant to put a melee weapon in Quest for K9 because I wasn't sure if it was the right sort of game for it. For those new to the channel, Quest for K9 is a game I am making based off of a game I made back in 2012 called Quest for K9. I am remaking it with the knowledge I have of the Game Maker program now. I originally had the baseball bat so you could walk and swing at the same time, but I found with that freedom of movement you would usually end up sliding into the enemy and injuring yourself. So from then on, now when you attack, you stop in one spot and swing your bat, but except for when you're on the ice. I think the ice is more of a forgivable thing for that. You can move while you're on the ice, and like instead of stopping right in your place, you'll slide. It's very high risk injury, but I think I've got it to a point now. I have been tweaking it quite a lot and it's quite comfortable. My only issue with it so far is that it's not too good at fighting the caveman boss. I might have to go back to the drawing board with that boss design just to kind of tweak things a bit. It's a real pain to be able to hit the beehive and make it land on the caveman's head, and so far that's the only way of injuring him. The original 2012 Quest for K9, you could actually just straight up attack the caveman with the frisbees or whatever weapon you had. So I might have to go down that route. I prefer the using the environment to take down the bosses, but maybe I might have to just go back to that original formula. We'll see. It's just another one of those things that you gotta kind of, the trial and error. It's just the joys of game design. Finding out what's broken and what works. It's not so much about sitting around playing video games all day, it's more of taking a game that's not as fun as it could be and making it a ton of fun. Next up we've got the plunger gun, which is my personal favourite. This is one I wanted to put in the original Quest for K9, but I didn't really have the knowledge of what to do back then, and yeah, it's just an idea I've been holding on to for quite a while, and I'm really glad I can finally pull it off. So it has 2 kind of settings. If you just press the fire button quickly, then it'll fire a plunger and it'll kind of go short distance and land pretty much at Jim's feet. Jim is the main character, by the way. He was the protagonist in the first game. And you can also do a charged shot if you hold down the fire button for a short amount of time and then release it. You can fire the plunger right across your screen, and these charged ones, if they can stick to a wall, and you can actually use the plunger to get up to higher places. Now this just opens up a whole new world of level design, so I can actually make places that you can only get to using these little plungers, and yeah, you can climb up and collect items, or maybe open some chests that you otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. So yeah, I'm hoping to have, so there's a shop, you spend the coins that you collect throughout the game and spend them on items or weapons. So yeah, you'll be able to hold on to one item, and I'm thinking possibly 1 to 2 weapons. I'm not entirely sure. I'm thinking 2. But yeah, it's all still work in progress. I just want you to keep in mind that not everything in this video is going to stay the same. There's different parts of the level I still haven't finished, and yeah, there's a lot more detail I'll add. I like to just sit back, take a look at it, just spend a day playing the game, and then just realize what I need to change or revamp. Now, I mentioned that Jim is the main character of the game. What made me make the first Quest for Canine in the first place was actually a tribute to our dog that we sadly lost from cancer. That's why it's called Quest for Canine. You're actually going out and looking for your dog. It's been taken from you. So, yeah, you play as Jim and you got to get your dog back. So, I've actually got Ella Artunis doing the music for this game. She's doing an incredibly good job. She's yeah, got some really good tunes. It honestly wouldn't be as good a game without it. So, to pay tribute to her, I've made a sprite um, based off her, so you can actually play as Ella Artunist as well. And I don't know if I've mentioned before. I'm pretty sure I have. This game's going to have hand-drawn graphics as well as pixel art, so you can choose between the two. You can chop and change. The next weapon we have is the boomerang. Again, going back to the Quest for Canine of 2012, there was a boomerang in that version also. It worked a little bit differently though. In that one, you would throw it, and no matter where you walked off to, it would always find its way back to you. Whereas this one, where you throw it is where it comes back to. So if you throw it and then walk away, it'll land exactly where you were standing when you first threw it. So keep this in mind, because if you jump over a cliff and throw it, you probably want to catch it before it goes back to the position where you originally threw it, because it'll fall down the cliff and you'll lose it, and you'll have to go to the shop and buy another one. There are no microtransactions in this game. I just want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not greedy. I just want people to play and enjoy my games. So yeah, no microtransactions, no annoying adverts, no catch. I'm trying to go back to the 90s style of gaming where you have a playable demo, and if you like what you played, then you get the whole thing. Simple. So the boomerang can collect coins as well. It cannot collect gems, only coins, and it can open chests. I gotta be honest, I had a bit of a play around with this one, because I had it so when you threw it, it would sort of go out, then up, and then back. And if you missed it when it was coming back, then that was it, it was gone. But this made it really frustrating, because the boomerang would go over Jim's head and he wouldn't be able to retrieve it if he had jumped and thrown it. So then I had the idea, oh, what if it goes out, then down, and then back? If it's been thrown whilst jumping. But I decided to can that idea and just have it so it goes directly out and directly back, and if it's above Jim's head from where he threw it, then it'll fall back down and right at the same position where he threw it. You can actually also control the altitude of the boomerang, so you can press up or down to move the boomerang up or down as it's being thrown. I thought this was kind of a fun mechanic, as you can actually sort of control where it's going to go. So if you missed a coin or whatever, you can just throw the boomerang and control it to grab it. So if you're too lazy to walk back and grab it yourself, you can just use the boomerang. And last but not least, we have the yo-yo. This weapon is quite cool. I'm kind of happy with how it works, except when I first put it in, I was having a bit of trouble. I came across this weird glitch where the yo-yo would just fly off screen, and I have no idea where it went, and it just wouldn't come back. But thankfully, I have fixed this glitch. So far, so good. I haven't actually had it happen during this playthrough. Again, it's the trial and error of game design. It kind of comes with the territory. You're essentially going about trying to break the game, so you don't want the player to be finding stuff like that. Things that you don't want them to find. So that's what you got to do. You got to go around and try and break the game, hopefully finding it before they do. So it means playing it and playing it and playing it. But yeah, mostly fixing up what problems you find, even the small ones. I try to clean it as I go, otherwise it's easy to forget, unless of course it's something blatantly obvious that you've missed. It also keeps the game a lot tidier. It's easier to sift through code, and yeah, it's just good to make sure you don't have extra code or whatever that you don't need that's actually messing with the game. So the yo-yo can be thrown left or right, as most weapons can, and then you can also hold up and press the attack button to swivel the yo-yo around Jim. Now this kind of acts like a brief shield almost. If you time it right, it can catch enemies off guard, especially if you're about to be swarmed or something. So it's pretty cool for that. Well, that's about all for the weapons. On to the items now. So, item 1, we have a pogo stick. So this was entirely inspired by Commander Keen for Goodbye Galaxy for the DOS computer back in the day. It's a very old game. It's one that I played during my childhood that I still love to this day, actually. I actually sent a video of this to Tom Hall from id Software, who created Commander Keen, and he loved it. He really thought it was awesome. So that was cool. That kind of reinforced my passion to, work on this project. So the pogo stick works quite well with the plunger gun, again, my favorite weapon. So you can shoot plungers at the wall and then use the pogo stick to jump up them. To work the pogo stick, you press jump and then hold it down, and as soon as Jim touches the ground, he'll bounce back up on his pogo stick. It has Commander Keen's signature yellow helmet, so and of course the pogo stick is 100% like inspired by Commander Keen. And the last item I'm going to share with you today is the double jump. Now this is kind of a staple of most platform games, but in this game it's going to be an item, so you can either choose between the pogo stick or the double jump. So you can't choose both, unfortunately. They're going to be different perks. So yeah, the double jump is quite cool. If you manage to pull it off, you just press the jump key or the jump button. I'm going to code in a controller use eventually too. Just got to make sure I've got the basics down first. If you press jump and then press jump again whilst in the air, you'll do a double jump, and it makes a noise kind of like a certain Italian plumber. And the same as the stance of Jim when he pulls off a double jump, looks remarkably like the same as a certain mustachioed plumber. So yeah, that about wraps up the items and the weapons that I've worked on. Sorry I've been pretty quiet lately. My voice has been pretty bad for doing voices. I caught this terrible cold and just screwed my vocal cords, so I can't really do the voice of Jacinda anymore in those cartoons, and I can't do the voice of Kid from the Ravioli Chronicles. So I'm still kind of suffering with it. It's kind of going away, but yeah, it's really frustrating because I can't do any voice work at the moment. But I hope you like what you see. I'm finally making the game of my childhood that I really wanted to make. So yeah, that's kind of what this is, and I just want to continue to pay a tribute to not just my dog, but anyone that's sort of lost a pet, sort of thing. It's just sort of a game about, you know, a boy and his dog. So, or it could be a girl and her dog, because LR Artunis sprite is there to be played as well. So yeah, I'm hoping to put a few more weapons in, not too much more, but yeah, I've got a couple of ideas. So thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, till next time, see you later.